And the pizza making process, baby. I gotta come up with something else for the intro, man. But what's up? Good morning, traders, and happy, we're gonna call it Money Thursday, because I'm smelling some opportunity in the market. I taste it. No, it's not this Celsius that I taste, even though that's pretty darn good. I taste opportunity. I taste profits. So we're going to make it happen today, team. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Thursday morning. I hope you guys had a wonderful evening and that you guys are all ready to rock and roll and that you are fired up to attack this day. Ladies and gentlemen, hit me with a big old good morning. What's up, Arlene, Kids King, Angel, Rebecca? How we all doing this morning? Skylar, Rod, Corey, Wade, Crypto Cole in the house. How we all doing today, team? How we doing? Over on YouTube, Jason, good morning, Joey, DBDB, Elvis, Mutaz, Diego. How we doing today, guys? Marcus, good morning. Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday. We're going to go ahead and dive into it. We're not going to waste any time today, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just waiting for you guys to hit me with that big old good morning. Got a lot to talk about today, team. All right, so we're not going to waste time. We're going to dive right into our morning stock newsletter. The man, the myth, and the legend, Mr. Ed Nevis, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and drop my webcam real quick because, again, I want to make sure you can read the morning stock newsletter and that you guys are all set. We're all ready to rock and roll. So once again, traders, good morning and happy Money Thursday. Welcome back to the best trading chat room in the world because you guys make it the best. I hope you all had a wonderful evening and that you are ready for a great trading session ahead. We are absolutely ending January with an amazing finish from everyone here inside of chats. You guys are making me proud. You have absolutely been crushing it in the market, team. Consistent profits, big time profits. Once again, I am proud of all of your hard work, your dedication, taking the initiative. You guys are seeing that success, and that's what absolutely fires me up to get out of bed, to come in here, to work with each and every one of you every single day. So keep up the amazing work and keep locking in those consistent profits. And let's see our biggest month yet. And let's have an amazing finish to January and starting 2022. Absolutely strong. So get fired up, team, because we are hitting it hard once again today. We're not holding back, team. S&P futures inch higher in volatile trading session as investors grapple with Fed tightening ahead. CNBC article this morning. So right now we look at the SPY. We are currently gapping up about 3.5 points. The Qs, we are gapping up about 4 points. So right now, futures slightly up here in pre-market. We'll have to see what today holds. The SPY and the Qs, we'll definitely be looking at these. I do have a few levels I'm looking at before I start getting long, before I start getting short, before I start trading some of these other stocks that we're getting ready to talk about. So first and foremost, let's talk about these pennies. Penny stocks have been very hard, very challenging lately. There's not been an abundance of opportunity. It's really hit or miss. It's here and there. And again, market conditions are top gaining stocks in pre-markets 90% of the time are not the ones ripping and running for the day. Normally, they're the prior day movers. BBIG, DWAC, right? We've had SRRA this week. So again, I'm going to go ahead and brush through these stocks that have news. Not a lot of news today. And also keep in mind, these market conditions have not been on fire, okay? So be smart. Play it very, very safe, especially with penny stocks. Again, all of the focus and all of the tension right now is still in the broader market. Traders and investors are still looking at the SPY and the Qs, as that's where the focus has been, again, over the past couple of weeks, guys, taking a lot of that volume and attention away from penny stocks. So we have ONCY this morning with some news. XM, ARDS, COCP, ASPA. Okay, team, you could go ahead and check out our morning stock newsletter over at alphadaytrading.com if you're on YouTube, or if you're inside a chat. Just go up to the Trading Education Center. Yours will say Morning Stock Newsletter, right? Go ahead and access the Morning Stock Newsletter if you want to dissect all of these stocks with news. But we have a lot of my top stocks that I'm watching today. So I want to spend time talking about these, the levels, what I see, and how I'm going to get prepared and take advantage of these stocks today. So out of the list of stocks with news, we have one stock that's worth watching today, and that's going to be ARDS at this point in time. So ARDS Pharmaceuticals receives funding to evaluate inhaled monoclonal antibodies to block influenza and COVID-19 transmission. Okay, we do have XM that was moving just a little bit, lowering their price target to $35. Okay, we had COCP selects 2 leading antiviral drug candidates for its COVID-19 oral drug program. So again, we've had some other stocks with okay news, but looking at these stocks, looking at the charts and pre-markets, there is literally no volume at all. The volume right now, team, is here on ARDS, okay, 6.5 million shares. On average, this stock trades 1.34 million shares. So we're trading 6 times the average volume today, right? We're trading 6 times the average volume. So that's great volume. 25% gap up, 9 million in float. This stock, ARDS, could see some nice action today. I want to see ARDS above 212, ideally staying above this 212 level. Now, at the lowest, we could come down the $2 natural support, okay? But ideally, to show some solid strength here on ARDS is above 212. We would have room back up towards around 247 to 250, and then that pre-market high of 267 on ARDS. Now, if ARDS starts taking on off, it's ripping and running, and it's the top penny stock of the day, we could see it up towards around $3, right? Then looking at that daily chart, that 200-day moving average, 428. I highly doubt that's going to happen, though, team. I highly doubt it because, again, penny stocks do not have the volume. Traders aren't focused on penny stocks. A lot of investors and traders are still looking at the broader market. So right now, ARDS has been moving this week, and there is fresh news, fresh volume today. It's a low float. We've seen it move. We could absolutely see it move again today. This is the #1 penny stock at this point in time, team. The #1 penny stock you guys should be watching out of the gate. Get prepared, get focused here on this stock, as there is some good opportunity. Once again, above 212. I like this. It shows strength, and we do have potential back up first to that pre-market high here on ARDS. Now, I know FAMI has volume, okay, but look at the average volume, 45 million shares. It's trading 16 million, okay? It's a 250 million in float stock, 250 million. Now, what's going on here? They report FY21 sales, 39 million, up from 28 year over year. So an extra $10 million of sales revenue year over year. That's why FAMI last night went from around 26 to 26 cents. If you're looking at FAMI, okay, support right now is right around 20 cents. You are running into a little bit of resistance right around 23.72, 0.2372. Now, if we can see FAMI get back above that level of resistance, which was old support, FAMI does have some room back up to post-market resistance as well as pre-market resistance. Okay, that's right around 2650, 0.2650. Okay, so watch FAMI if you'd like. Personally, I'm not going to put that much focus on it. It's a very large float. We aren't really trading the volume that I would really like to see on this particular stock. All right, I'm definitely watching ARDS. And like I said, penny stocks, prior day movers have been the place. So what are the prior day movers? Well, we have SRRA. Nice big green day yesterday. I definitely think we could see SRRA go on another nice move today. So support in pre-market was around $28.75. Right now, we lost that level. We're trying to get back above, but we are technically below that $28.75 level. Support right now is going to be back down at $27.23, with resistance at yesterday's post-market highs if we can break pre-market highs. So pre-market highs here on SRRA, $30.58. Post-market highs, $32.79. Now, if we can break yesterday's post-market highs, we do have room, looking at that daily chart, to $35 and then $40. Again, this was a very, very strong stock yesterday. Now, again, big green day, but not a lot of volume. So that's one thing I am being mindful of, is we had a very big day to the upside, but it wasn't on the same amount of volume that we had the prior day. So substantially less, something to be mindful of. But again, looking good yesterday. We could see another strong day today on SRRA as traders are really going back to those prior day movers. Okay, so that's what we got going on with SRRA. Now, I got some back burner stocks I want to talk about, team. Now, these are going to be back burners. I'm watching SRRA right out of the gate. I'm watching ARDS right out of the gate. Top two stocks to focus on when the bell rings, when the market opens. But I do have some back burners, guys. Okay, so GMVD is on my back burner watch list for a possible daily flag formation. Leg to the upside, consolidating. I want to see the stock back above $5. I want to see some strength above 5. Now, I know right now it's at 507, okay, but the ask is at 507. The bid is at 492. I want to see volume. I want to see some strength, breaking and holding $5 on GMVD. That's where I think we could see some attention from traders start to move back in here on GMVD. We do have room back to 6, and then we do have some room back to 674 here on GMVD. So again, if we break and hold 5, I'm getting interested. I'm definitely thinking about taking a trade on this stock, as once again, I don't want to say it a lot, and I don't want to repeat myself too much, but again, we have newer traders coming in periodically. I want to make sure I'm reiterating myself so you guys understand why market conditions are prior day movers. Okay, so that's what we got going on with GMVD. Now, PIXY is another stock I'm watching as well, another back burner stock. Okay, I'm actually gonna be watching PIXY for a break and hold over 175. Now, 175, 176 has been very strong resistance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Okay, tough resistance. We could completely get rejected off this level and dump all the way back down towards around 130. But again, I'm seeing some strength. We're building higher lows on the daily chart. We're trying to get that clean break over that 175, 176 here on PIXY. So again, very strong level of resistance, but what happens when we break strong resistance? It turns into new support. I want to see PIXY breaking and holding over that 175, 176 price. We do have room back up towards around Tuesday's spiking high, right at $2. Okay, so there's about maybe 25 cents of opportunity to the upside today here on PIXY, another back burner stock. Now, yes, I am still watching BBIG, but right now there's no reason to talk about it, okay? Nasty day yesterday. Yesterday was the chance BBIG had. Now, again, anything can happen. Anything could change as the day develops. And we will definitely watch BBIG, but I don't think it's a stock that we should put a lot of focus on right now, as again, over the last couple of days, it doesn't look good whatsoever. And I don't really think there's going to be a lot of opportunity like we see possibly with PIXY. or even GMVD. These are better back burner stocks. Look at BBIG on the daily. Not very appealing, all right? But we are still keeping this one on watch as there's still traders looking at it. And same thing with DWAC, guys, okay? So DWAC, keeping this stock on watch above our 20 EMA, okay? So again, over that 20 EMA, I like this. But another thing that I'm looking at as well is, again, we had this big gap down, okay? So from, what was that? Last Friday to Monday, we gapped down. Nice bounce off the 20 EMA, holding above 65.87. We filled the gap. So this could be a gap fill rejection to where we actually see DWAC fade and fall. So if we cannot break $73 on DWAC, that's the gap fill level. You can see that's a good amount of resistance, not just this week, but the prior weeks as well. If we can't break above 73 and that's clear resistance, it's like, okay, not going to happen, right? This could be the typical gap fill bounce, right? It's bouncing to the downside. It's rejecting off that gap fill. We could see this curl on over and technically move just a little bit lower. So if we ever start to see DWAC cracking below that 65.87, I would consider shorting this stock here on DWAC. And depending on these options, maybe we could buy some puts, as I don't think DWAC is shortable with Fidelity. So again, I do not want to chase this long. I do not want to get in prematurely. We need a break and hold 73. And if we can, now we're in the clear. We have great opportunity to the upside on DWAC up to 77.38. But first and foremost, breaking and holding 73 is key. I want to make sure that we're not chasing this long, and this is going to be a gap fill rejection to where it's a short and not a long opportunity. So a game of patience with DWAC. But either way you look at this, there's opportunity. It could be to the upside. It could be to the downside as to why we are watching DWAC today. Now we're going to start diving into a lot of these larger cap stocks, okay? I got about 4 stocks that I want to keep on high watch today, guys, okay? These are going to be stocks $60, $100, 174. Ideally, these are the ones that you guys are trading options with, okay? So number 1, I want to talk about SE. The first thing that I notice here on SE, all right, is a bearish engulfing candle, and it's showing for another potential red day here on SE. Okay, so again, we've been falling. We put in a decent little hammer doji, gap down, spinning top doji, both of these candles indicating a potential reversal, but on lighter volume over the past 2 days. Yesterday, more volume starting to move on in, and yesterday's candle completely eating the prior day candle. Now, this is a strong sign of potential downside, right? This is a very good indication that we could continue to see SE move to the downside. So I'll be looking to short this below 171.30, down towards around 125, and then 118.46. But here's the thing I want to make clear before we continue to dive into this, okay? These shorts that I'm talking about now and that we're getting ready to dive into all depend on the overall market, okay? If the SPY and the Qs are having a very strong day to the upside and they are ripping, I'm not going to short these stocks because these stocks are correlating very, very closely right now with the broader market, okay? Normally they don't. Usually they do their own thing. But when there's excessive volatility and focus on the SPY, the Qs, what happens? Stocks tend to move in the similar direction. They correlate with the broader market. So again, it really depends on what the SPY's doing today in the Qs. Now, if we see some weakness there, that's going to help these shorts play out for us. But if we see a strong green day on the SPY and the Qs, I'm going to hold off for now on these shorts that we're getting ready to talk about. Okay, so again, SE, bearish engulfing candle below 130.170. We have some room down towards around 125 and then 118.46 here on SE with resistance right now up towards around 143.56. The next one I'm looking at today is going to be TTD. All right, so TTD as well. Look at that daily chart. Very strong, bearish engulfing candle. I'm looking to short this stock below $60.50, down towards around $56.07. Again, depending on the overall market. Again, I'm just looking at the volume moving in over the past couple of days. I see that bearish engulfing candle indicating that, hey, if we crack below support, we could see another strong day and another day of continuation to the downside here on TTD. So another stock that I'm watching here out of the gates, right? And then last but not least, I'm watching Spotify. You know, Spotify looks really nice. It's actually not gapping up. SE is kind of moving on up with the market, right? TTD, it's moving on up with the market. I mean, go look at Apple. Go look at Netflix. These stocks are moving on up with the market. Again, the SPY's moving up. The Qs are moving up at this point in time. And we go look at SPOT. It's really not. So out of all three of these stocks that we just talked about, we had SE, TTD, now we're talking about SPOT. This would probably be my go-to for the short because I'm not seeing the stock correlate, right, with the broader market. So SPOT, very strong red day yesterday. I'm looking for a continuation to the downside today. I'm looking to short this stock below 173.50, which is yesterday's lows. So cracking and holding below yesterday's lows here on SPOT. We have some room down towards around 164.19. And right now, out of the last three that we just talked about, this is probably my number one focus out of the gate is going to be ticker SPOT to the short side. Another strong day down. Just looking for another day of continuation to the downside. Earnings coming on up February 2nd. So that's going to be next week? Yeah, that is next Wednesday here on SPOT. So just be mindful of that. This is not a swing trade. This is going to be a day trade. And yes, I do think we have $8 to $9 to the downside here on SPOT. Okay. Now, we were talking about the SPY yesterday, guys, right? I said technicals right now, kind of off the table, right? Kind of off the table. Need to wait and see what Mr. Powell has to say. The Fed, the conclusion of the FOMC meeting. Wait and see how the market reacts. Again, during those times of heightened volatility, technicals are not always respected. So we held off. But based on yesterday's close, it looks to me like we do have more room to the downside. Now, why is that, right? We have what's called a two-legged pullback, a three-legged pullback, right? It is a bearish, not reversal, but it's a continuation formation, right? It's intended to continue the trend that it's in. So right now we see the SPYs in a downtrend. We see that to the three-legged pullback, which is a continuation formation. It's where we have increased volume as the stock is falling. Then when we bounce back up, right? So our pullback, this right here, the last 3 days has been a pullback on the SPY. That pullback occurring on decreased volume. And then yesterday we got rejected off a level of resistance. And what's our level of resistance? The 200-day moving average with an increase in selling volume. We can apply this formation to a 1-minute chart, a 5-minute chart, to a daily chart, right? It's valid on any time frame. So again, this is we can call it a three-legged pullback. And so far, it's meeting all of the criteria needed to be met for a possible continuation to the downside. So right now, from a technical perspective, it looks to me like we have more room to the downside. But again, during times of heightened volatility and uncertainty and just craziness in the market, sometimes the technicals are not honored like they normally are. So be mindful of that. But at this point in time, I'm seeing potential room to the downside. That 442 is going to be a key level to watch. That is our 200-day moving average. Okay, that's a key level to watch to see what we have going on here on the SPY today and tomorrow. Looking at the Qs, we are very far away from that 200 SMA here on the Qs. But one thing I notice about the Qs is we're just stuck inside of this weekly channel, right? We got bottom channel support, 338.59, top channel resistance, 354.47. Okay, so right now we're just sitting sideways since Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today's Thursday. So at this point in time, we know where resistance is at the top of the channel. Where is that? 354.47. Okay, where's support? 338.59. We need to make a decision over resistance or below support. It's that easy, right? There's a $10 to $15 difference between support and resistance. So right now, it's pretty uncertain on what's going to happen. I would say that the markets remain sideways and probably choppy and somewhat volatile. I don't think we're going to see another strong, big-time move, whether that's up or down, until we break and validate one of these levels of the channel, whether that's top channel resistance breaking above this level. I think we see that next big pop to the upside, okay? I don't think we're going to see that big time move and that volume really moving until we see the break to the upside on the Qs. That's above 354.47. Same thing to the downside. I do not think we're going to see that next big massive leg down and that volume really start to hit until we crack below that channel supports. Okay, so right now we're sitting sideways. There's a $15 window of opportunity here between resistance and support. There is going to be opportunity. But as far as a solid rebound, like, all right, we're in the clear. We're moving back up, baby, right? We're good until March. Or, hey, there's more room to the downside. We need to watch one of those two levels, okay? For now, we're playing our intraday levels. If we see anything set up intraday, we get our confirmation, whatever the case is, guys, like we've been playing it the last 2 to 3 weeks, right? We will continue to do that until we have better confirmation that, hey, we could see a bigger time move. Maybe we can start entering some swing trades. But right now, I'm not looking for swing trades at this time until we break above that top resistance or until we crack below that bottom support. That's when I start thinking, hey, I think we have some weekly swing trade opportunities for some big time volatile moves here on the Qs, okay? So again, we're watching the SPY. We're going to be watching the Qs, guys. Really, that's going to dictate how I trade Spotify, TTD, SE, right? I really want to put some focus there. We do have some key levels to pay attention to on the SPY, right? It's 442. We have some key levels today to pay attention to on the Qs, which is up towards around 354, right? Like always, watching Tesla, right? Always watch Tesla. They had earnings last night. They're actually going to gap up about, what, $6 here on Tesla, which is nothing. So we'll just have to see what Tesla does today, okay? We had some volatility in post-market, but so far in pre-market, not a lot going on here on Tesla. But again, you've had some price targets being raised, all right? You got Citigroup raising price targets. You got JP Morgan raising price targets. Guess where their price targets are? So Citigroup maintains a sell on Tesla, but raises its price target to 313. Right? You got JP Morgan over here with a price target of 325. So everybody's like, yeah, we're not worth $900. This is a $300 stock. But right now we'll have to see what's in store for Tesla coming up. So again, one of those stocks I always watch. And if there is a setup, I will let you guys know. But right now at this point in time here in pre-market, do I see anything that's appealing to me on Tesla? Not really. I'm liking Spotify, I'm liking TTD, I'm liking SE. But I want to let you guys know what is on my watch list. What are those other stocks that I'm watching for today, right? Always Tesla. We're always watching Tesla. I am watching INTC, Intel. They had earnings. I'm just curious to see how this stock moves today. Right now, there is nothing for me to jump on in with. I'm just watching this stock, okay? I am watching NVIDIA. So here's something I notice about NVIDIA, guys, is we do have what appears to be forming a little bit of a bearish flag, okay? We have this big leg down, and we have this period of consolidation to the upside, right? It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter inside of this, what could be a wedge. This would be a little bit of a bearish flag formation. So again, I'm just looking at NVIDIA, not trading it, watching it. If we start to see NVIDIA crack out of this flag, if we start to see Apple crack out of this flag, right? We do have a couple flags across the board on some of these stocks. If we start to see that take place, obviously that can bring the market down. So I'm watching NVIDIA for a potential bearish flag. That could happen today, tomorrow, maybe early next week. So I'm watching NVIDIA. Always watching AMD as well. Going to be watching Netflix today, okay? So again, if we have a nice green day, I think, we found a potential short-term bottom here on Netflix, right? Down towards around that 351, 352 level. I'd be looking for Netflix to break above 387.80. Okay, so assuming we have a good little day in the market and my shorts aren't playing out to where I'm not getting shorts, I do have a long opportunity on Netflix. And Netflix long would be over 387.80, up towards around 397.23. So that's about a $9 move to the upside here on Netflix. So again, that's probably the only one that I see right now that I like to the long side would be Netflix. And that's assuming the overall market has a pretty decent day up. And I'm not looking to short SC. I wouldn't be looking to short TTD or SPOT. So my number one stock that I'm watching for the long side, if we do see the markets perform well today, right, and we have a green day, would be Netflix. Tonight, after the close, right, we have Apple earnings, Okay, we have Apple earnings, but one thing I want you to be mindful of these technicals is it is inside of this bearish flag formation. So we'll have to see what earnings look like, how traders and investors react, and see how these technicals hold on up. Okay, again, back burner stocks, we're watching to see if there's any opportunity. AMD, watching NVIDIA, it's been moving pretty well. Watching Intel off earnings, watching Tesla off earnings. But my top stocks for options today, okay? Always the SPY, guys. Definitely watching the SPY. Definitely watching the Qs. Assuming we have a red day, I'm looking to short SE, TTD, SPOT. Assuming we have a great green day, right? I'll be looking at Netflix as my #1 stock to the long side if we have a nice green day. But out of the gate for penny stocks, guys, top stocks we're watching are ARDS above 212, SRRA above 2723, and then I do like GMVD as probably the #1 back burner stock for the day. So I know there's a lot, right? I know there's a lot that we just talked about, but breaking everything down, getting you guys prepared for the day, knowing the top stocks that I think we should be watching out of the gate. Okay, and again, that's going to be penny stock, SRRA, and then ARDS. Top larger cap stocks. You definitely need to be watching the SPY and the Qs because the overall market's going to move based on what the SPY and the Qs do. So if we see the overall market doing very well, and it looks like a green day, hey, we got Netflix, baby. Maybe Tesla sets up, maybe NVIDIA, but most definitely Netflix. I don't need 5 stocks to watch. I don't need 10 stocks. I need 1 or 2. I have Netflix. Now, if we see the SPY and the Qs rolling on over, and it looks like it's going to be a red day, guess what? We have SE to the short side. We have TTD to the short side. And we have SPOT to the short side. All right, so what stocks do you think are going to do the best there? You think it's going to be SRRA? Do you think the top stock's going to be ARDS? Do you think the top stock today is going to be a back burner play that we listed, right? That could be GMVD. That could also be maybe PIXY, right? You think it's going to be a back burner? Do you think it's going to be the focus still with the SPY and the Qs? Do you think that's where the opportunity is? SPY and Qs, right? Do you think it's going to be Netflix, the long side? Or do you think it's going to be one of these other stocks that we listed? It could be SE, right? It could be TTD, even be SPOT to the short side. What are you guys thinking? Go ahead and cast your votes inside the chat, ladies and gentlemen. All right, go ahead and cast those beautiful votes. What stock do you think is going to do the best today? SRRA, ARDS, or one of the back burner penny stocks? Do you think it's going to be a SPY in the Qs? Do you think it's going to be Netflix to the long side? Or do you think it's going to be one of those short opportunities that we just talked about? Cast those votes. I want to see what you guys are thinking before the market opens in 50 seconds. So right now we have 2 votes over on SRRA. 33% of chat saying the Qs and the SPY. I am not talking about SBEV right now because there is nothing with SBEV at this point in time. Again, I reviewed all of my stocks this morning, what stocks I think have the best opportunity for today, and we reviewed about 10 of those. Are options on penny stocks worth it? Too risky? Too risky as a new trader. If you do not know how to trade options, I would not trade options on penny stocks. So what are you guys thinking right now? We got 50% of chat saying the SPY and the Qs. All right, guys, so let's be watching the SPY and the Qs out of the gate. Markets open. Let's have an awesome day. Let's have some fun, and let's lock in those big time profits. So off to the side, watching the Qs first, looking to see where the Qs are heading. So again, ARDS and SRRA were the top 2 penny stocks. Number one back burner, guys, for penny stocks was GMVD, I believe over $5. That's where we're going to see a lot of volume start to move on in. So if you guys are looking at one of these back burner, what I call sleeper plays, you'd want to be watching GMVD here. And another back burner sleeper play that has potential, I know you guys have been watching this and trading this over the past week or so, is PIXY over 176. We have room to 2. Right now I'm watching Spotify, SPOT. Again, I'm not a fan of taking these trades right out of the gate because we see them crack on down and rip. But I am interested in SPOT here, down towards around that 164, guys. Right now, watching SPOT, we got the Qs bouncing back up here a little bit. I'm curious to see if SPOT is going to follow the Qs, right? Is it going to follow the SPY? Is SPOT going to follow the broader market? Because if so, and the broader market is moving higher, which right now you have the Qs trying to break 350, I do not want to be jumping into the short side on SPOT. Right now, I have no positions at this time. Again, the SPY, key level today, team. Key level, 442. Key level on the SPY is going to be 442. Again, what have we been noticing the last, week or so out of the gate, right? Pretty choppy. No real sense of direction the first 10 minutes or so. And then we start to see things develop. Things start to form, right? Things play out. And then we've been getting crazy good opportunities. So right now, you're 3 minutes into the day. You're like, oh, I want to buy the Qs. Why? Oh, I want to jump into the SPY. Why? Do you really know which way it's going? It's 50-50, guys. It's a gamble. You don't know which way the Qs are going right now. You don't know which way the SPY is going right now. There's no setup. There's no opportunity. There's no pattern. There's no chart formation, right? There's nothing. So sit back and relax and be patient, guys. Again, a lot of our trades have been coming at what? 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, right? Some good winners. Not the first 2 minutes, not the first 3 minutes. Right now, being patient, looking to see where the market's going to go, waiting for something to develop and set up for us. Right now, we're just waiting and watching. So ARDS right now not looking all that good. So SE, and right out of the gate, the first 5 minutes, not looking all that great either. How's TTD looking? TTD as well, not looking all that great. Same thing with SPOT. And SPOT is a lot closer, right? Spotify is much closer for a possible upcoming trade here. Below 175, yesterday's close. Really seeing some action move in below 170 to 164 here. But the only thing I'm not a fan of with Spot is the horrendous spread. Right? It's a $1.50 spread, almost a $2 spread. That's no good. That's no good at all. We don't like those spreads. No, thank you. Not today. Again, we already knew coming into the day that penny stocks were going to be a little tough and challenging because that's just how they have been, the past couple of weeks with penny stocks. If you start to see one moving on up, what do you have to do? You got to jump in and get out quick. If you're looking to trade a penny stock, you get in and you get out very quick, okay? Because again, penny stocks are pumping on up. You got about 3 to 5 minutes to the upside, and then they start just dumping on off. So if you are in a penny stock, right, and you're in profit, lock in your profit. I mean, if Spotify spreads weren't so large, I would be all over it, guys. But the spreads are not all that great. You got $1.50 spreads at sometimes. It's unfortunate because that's a good-looking short there on SPOT. Not a bad-looking short, but again, I can't jump in with that spread. I mean, I'm already down $200 if I jump in. So we still have TTD, which would be a little bit better. The spreads are not as bad, and TTD has about $4 to the downside once we get the confirmation to enter TTD. Same thing with SE. We can start seeing this crack below at 132. I mean, this one has a lot of room to 125 and then 118 on SE. So, I mean, there's some great opportunity here on SE to the downside. But I want to see it bounce back up a little bit. It's already dropped about $4 or $5 to the downside. I want to wait for it to push back up a little bit and then start to curl back on over and then look for a possible trade coming on up there. Still watching SPOT off to the side. I want to get an entry on SPOT, but the spreads are really bad. The spread's starting to tighten up a little bit. I would most definitely grab some SPOT. And right now, the spreads are still, $1 at sometimes, $1. And again, 200 share position. Geez, you're already down $200 just because of the spread. This is a challenging one to get involved with here on SPOT. Right now, the spreads are not as bad as what they were, but it's still 80-cent spreads. Option spreads are bad as well. Staying away from now. Yep. Sometimes with this heightened volatility, the spreads on options out of the gate, can be pretty wacky. Probably the first 10, 15, 20 minutes. So yeah, usually waiting for things to calm down, those spreads will tighten up a little bit. And then, again, team, we have that, we have potential to make some cash today. And I always say this, right? I always say this. It doesn't matter how quick you make money. You find a setup in the first 10, 15 minutes, take it. Make that money. Make it happen, right? But if not, don't force it. Of course, I want us to have some quick wins, right? Right out of the gate. I want everybody to be making some big-time cash, some quick win trades. But if there's no good, clean opportunities, we're not going to rush it. We're not going to force it. The only thing right now I'm still watching is SE. Ticker SE. Get that nice little two-legged pullback, right? So again, increased volume to the downside. Starting to bounce back up here a little bit into that 9 EMA. We could definitely start to see this curl on back down, especially if it's a decreasing volume bounce. So right now, I am still watching SE. We may have an opportunity to get an earlier trade, right? We might have an opportunity for a trade right around 135 versus waiting for the crack below 131.70 here on SE. I got SE on watch right now, team. And SE has a big window to the downside. Big old window to the downside. So let's see. We may have something coming on up here, guys. So right now, penny stocks, not a lot happening, guys. Not a lot happening right now at this point in time in penny stock land. So I'm watching SE here, looking to see if this is going to be that level of resistance off that two-legged pullback for the next drop on down. How's GMVD doing? Nothing with GMVD, nothing with PIXY yet. SRRA, no opportunity there, guys. ARDS still on watch. You know, ARDS did get back above 212 here. It's trying to get back above that 212 level. Right around 211. So watch ARDS for a quick potential run up to VWAP here. You know, we lost that 211, 212. It was resistance. We are back above that level. You know, we did break back above 211. And we did have some nice volume movement as well. But right now, let's see if we can hold on up. And if we can, we might see a quick little 10-cent bounce here on ARDS. But again, team, penny stocks have not been the place to be lately. Place to be is over on the SPY, the Qs, Nvidia, Tesla, right? Apple. That's where the opportunity's been. Right now, let's watch the SPY. I say we just go ahead and focus on the SPY here. Let's see what happens over the next 10 to 15 minutes up towards around this 442 level here on the SPY. Because again, that's a pretty key level on the SPY, guys. 442. It really is. Spaz hit it on the head. The market's really testing discipline right now. 100%. You gonna jump in? You gonna take losses? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna handle yourself? How are you going to approach the day? Right? Is the market gonna win or are you gonna win? We're winning. Sit back on your hands. If they go numb, hey, they go numb. It's okay. But the market is testing that discipline right now. So be disciplined. Sit back and wait for your trade. Even Chris saying, yeah, he's barely traded this month. Yeah, I mean, same. You know, I'm not trading as aggressively. I don't even have my main broker open because I'm not seeing any type of setups that I want to take with big aggressive size. It's really just been focused on the SPY, the Qs, maybe some Tesla here and there, Microsoft off earnings, right? It's been very slow the last, couple weeks, for me with my trading at least. So I haven't been as aggressive. But again, sometimes we have these market conditions where we have to sit back. I'd rather break even or make a couple dollars versus being deep in the red to where when I have a great month, all I'm doing is digging myself out of a hole. No one wants to spend a lot of time digging themselves out of holes, right? So just try not to lose. You're going to lose every now and then, but scale back your size. Be less aggressive. Take smaller losses. Work on those base hits. Get a little cushion, guys, right? Little teeny wins add up. At least you have some nice teeny wins, and at least you have some profits versus having a big, deep, red old hole. Or when you have a good, maybe February, all you're doing is digging yourself out of the hole. No one wants to spend that month digging themselves out of the hole.